Hey, it's Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today we're going to install some Fasade, I don't know how to say that, wall panels on our walls in our bathroom here. Let me show you what we're working with and my supplies. Okay, so here's the room. It's a small half bath, or not half bath, full bath that was roughed in when we moved in. I finished these with the Palisades wall tiles from the DIY Decor Store. We've still got a little work around the curb here. I've also got a caulk around this, but I'm waiting because I want to do the walls. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out our panels. They're 4x8, so they're fairly large. They need to sit overnight so that they can flatten out, seeing they've been curved in a box. When you get your box, you're going to get some trim as well. I just put those to the side. I've got ISC Trim and also J Trim. So J Trim's like this. It looks like a J if you go like that. So that just covers the edge, any raw edges you don't want showing. And here's our box for our panels. We are looking at taking all of this out so I can flatten out. Okay, so I am going to be installing this today. I am pretty excited to get this done. It doesn't seem like it's going to be terribly hard, but I'm doing it a little bit different than maybe I should be because it's not in the instructions this way, but this was the easiest way I could see of doing it. First of all, I'm using good glue. I am using, let me show you, Loctite Power Grab Ultimate, which is an interior and exterior construction adhesive. I'm using a mask, of course. I have asthma and I don't want to mess up with my lungs. I don't know if it's a big deal, but I try to err on the side of caution. So I first started out, they give you some ISC Trim. It's like this. I added the Loctite adhesive to this side and this side, and I used like 1 7/8 of a piece to go along the top here. So that is adhered nicely. That adhesive works really well. So I wanted the adhesive to stick to the bar, the support bar here, as well as to the wall. This allows me to slide my white panels up into it. The second thing I did was cut my white panels to the height of my wall, which is not quite 8 feet. So I've got it cut on the ground here, and I held it up and just drew the line for where my panel is going to be going. So I know that this here all needs adhesive. So I'm going to put the adhesive on before pulling my panel up instead of putting it on the panel. It's way easier this way. So I've got to put up this wall now. It's going to be hard to show you the whole thing, but I'm just going to start by putting, oh, actually, I need to measure the width. So I'm going to close this, measure the width, cut my panel to the right width, and then cut it to the right height. When you're putting these in and you're doing the tiles next to each other, you'll notice that one side has a very big lip. Now that lip is going to get covered up, assuming you have it abutting your next piece. On one side, your big sheet has a thin lip. That thin lip crosses over this. So you can go down that side and as well as along the bottom of your piece and put in nails for the nail gun to hold it in place while the glue dries. The glue dries pretty quick, so it shouldn't be a problem, but it does make your life a little easier, and I prefer not to put the nail gun pieces in to the main area because I don't want it showing. So I can put them in the areas that get covered up by baseboard or by this piece. So that means I can go along this bigger lip and do that. So the next thing I've done is I have cut this piece here. This top, I had to cut an L out for the top of my ceiling, which you can't really see in this video, but the top kind of goes, it's like a little L shape, kind of a pain. However, I cut this to the right height and length, and once I push it all the way up, it'll be in my trim again. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, so this part tucks into the trim I had put up earlier. So you could see this other piece is already in there. And then this is gonna go like this. So you see the seam is covered up. Does that make sense? Now, I'll show you up here. We've got this L-shaped area. So I've cut this out. I can put a little piece of J-trim maybe here. I may just caulk around it because it's kind of a hard area to cover. So what I'm gonna do is remove this now and put glue on this side of the wall. So that allows me to get the glue up first and then go ahead and hang this on the glue. For the rest of the walls, it was pretty much exactly the same. I had to work around some outlets and some pipes and that sort of thing. I'm going to show you a quick look and then I'll give you a tour of the final project. And then at the end, I just added baseboard to all of this. I want to give you a tour of what it looks like right now. We are not completely finished the bathroom. I'm going to have to maybe adjust some things. I had to finish on the top above the door here, and then I built this shelf because I ran out of panels. I have not caulked anything yet. I'm gonna try to caulk probably here because that's probably the correct thing to do. This wall is really tricky to cut because of the curves. It is like, it kind of makes you want to go along the curve a little, and when you have to make a straight cut, it can be kind of tricky. I think it'll also be hard to caulk a little bit. So of course I added my baseboard at the very end, and you can see I've got this. I'm going to add some quarter round here and maybe some quarter round around the outside too. I kind of want to match the floor here. Added my baseboard here and here. I absolutely love the look of these walls. They should be really easy to wipe down. They're like plasticky, and I'm hoping they'll just be really easy to deal with. Putting them up was fairly easy. The main issue is, again, is you're cutting along a curve kind of, but if you're cutting at the bottom and you're tucking your top into your ISC trim, it shouldn't be too bad. And you're covering the bottom that you're probably have like a little bit of a rough cut on. You're covering it with baseboard, so it's not really a big deal. The only thing you will need to know is if you have one wall with this panel and then you have one wall that's just drywall, which I didn't do here except in this corner, and this corner is a little different, but if you do, your baseboard won't abut perfectly with a corner angle. And that is because this bumps your wall out a little bit. So your baseboard's bumped out just a teeny bit. So you can actually put a piece of scrap paneling behind your baseboard to make it kind of even, and then caulk the your edge here, the edge like this. Oh, the 90-degree edge, I guess. So I still have to caulk around the top of the baseboard. I've got to caulk the shower. I've got some other stuff I'm waiting for. And I'm going to be doing the ceiling panels as well. And then I will show you a full reveal of the bathroom. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day. And make sure to check out my blog, DIYDanielle.com.